The Bliss Business Podcast, the show about empathy, connection, and consciousness in business. Today's episode is brought to you by Zero Company, your paid search, social media, and programmatic ad experts.
Welcome back to the Bliss Business Podcast. I'm Tullio. Today in episode 6 of the monologues, we're talking about operating rhythms that turn trust into execution, because this is where bliss becomes operational in a very practical way. A lot of organizations do not have a performance problem. They have a rhythm problem. They have smart people. They have good intentions. They have opportunities in front of them, but they often do not have a reliable cadence for clarity, decisions, and follow through. So what happens? People work hard, but they're not aligned. Important issues sit unresolved. Decisions get delayed. Meetings happen, but progress feels uneven. Everyone is carrying uncertainty in their head. That mental load is expensive. Bliss drops when uncertainty becomes the default. This is why operating rhythms matter so much. Operating rhythms reduce ambiguity. They create shared visibility. They normalize truth. They make accountability feel natural instead of forced. In other words, operating rhythms turn trust into execution. This is also deeply connected to design thinking. In design thinking, we create repeatable loops for learning. We observe, test, learn, and adjust, and repeat. Great operating rhythms do the same thing for organizations. They create a learning and execution loop that teams can rely on. In the Empath IQ framework, OKRs and self-management depend on this. If the rhythm is weak, OKRs become a document. If the rhythm is strong, OKRs become a living system. So let us talk about a healthy operating rhythm, what it actually looks like. A simple BLISS-based operating rhythm usually has 3 layers. By the way, if this is the first time you're tuning in, BLISS stands for Build Love into Scalable Systems. Now let's talk about layer 1. Layer 1 is the weekly clarity rhythm. This is not a status meeting. It is a clarity meeting. Every team answers the following questions. What did we accomplish last week? What are we committing to accomplishing this week? Where are we stuck? Or what kind of help do we need? The last question is critical. A lot of teams are trained to hide friction until it becomes a fire. A healthy rhythm brings friction forward early. That builds trust and speed. Layer 2 is the monthly reflection rhythm. This is where the team zooms out and asks, what is working? What is not working? What are we avoiding? And what decisions keep getting postponed? This creates a space for truth and course correction. Without a reflection rhythm, teams just stay busy but repeat the same mistakes. With a reflection rhythm, the organization learns. Bliss grows when learning is built into the system. Now let's talk about layer 3. Layer 3 is the quarterly alignment rhythm. This is where leadership and teams reset priorities and ask questions like, what matters now? What has changed since the last quarter? What needs to stop? I.e., what are we wasting our time on? What trade-offs are we making? What are our key priorities for the next quarter? This is where many businesses fail because they keep adding priorities and never kill the work that's not producing any results. Too many priorities create stress and fake productivity. A clear quarterly rhythm creates focus and relief. That relief is part of bliss. Now, here's an important point. Operating rhythms only work if they're designed to support agency, not compliance. If a weekly meeting is just a place where leaders demand updates, people will protect themselves. If a weekly meeting is a place for shared visibility, commitments, and support, people will own the outcome. Same meeting length, completely different experience. This is the difference between command and control and self-managed organizations. Bliss does not come from more meetings. Bliss comes from better rhythms. Now let us connect this into business impact. When rhythms are strong, execution gets faster because blockers surface early. Decisions quality improve because teams are working with real information in real time. Stress drops because people know the issues that need to be addressed, and they know that the issues will be addressed. Trust rises because commitments are visible, and customer experience improves because handoffs and priorities are clear. Customers can feel when an organization has a good rhythm. This is one of the fastest ways to improve performance without adding any additional headcount. So here's a tangible move for this week. Create one sacred rhythm. If the organization is chaotic, start with a weekly clarity check-in. Keep it simple. Keep it consistent. Use the same 3 questions every week. Then protect it. Do not let it become a reporting performance. Do not let it drift into random discussion. And do not let it become a place where people get blamed. Make it a place where clarity and ownership grows. Bliss rises when people know what matters, what they own, and where to bring friction before it becomes damage. Operating rhythms make all that possible. Thank you for listening to the Bliss Business Podcast. Next week, we're going to talk about decision architecture and why unclear decision-making drains energy faster than hard work ever will. And until next time, stay blissful.